Because
to me
on PC they don't have there's no cloud save.
I swear Steam has cloud save, bro.
No,
Origin does, though.
We live.
Oh, we live. Press Start Podcast, episode 20. Okay, yo. I'm hearing myself. All right, yo, there we go. Press Start Podcast, episode 20. Yo, we back. We got a good show for you guys today. Obviously, we're going to talk about the big reveal today. Xbox Project Scorpio. The specs have finally been revealed. And today, I got a dope panel with me, as always. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce them. Fame, say what up.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Man, Fame Entertainment here from the Inner Circle. Check out our website, ticgn.com. Also, I am the host of the Double XP podcast, which you guys can catch every other Wednesday. You can catch it live on my channel. You can catch it on our Tick Network channel. You can catch it on our website, ticgn.com. You can catch us on Podbean, and now you guys can catch it on iTunes. Make sure you guys come and check us out, man.
And we got Alex. Say what up.
What's up, everybody? This is Oh No, It's Alex with 2 X's. You can follow me on YouTube and on Twitter if you like to talk about the business side of video games, ADD, ADHD, and living with it. And also, if you want to get fit as fuck, I have workout routines that I can give you too. So you can watch that there.
This is the only man that would probably give, Solid Rev a hard time in the arm wrestling contest. So check him out.
I don't know. Solid Rev is 6'4". I'm 6'1".
All right, yeah, we got J Main. Say what up, J Main.
Yo, what up, J Main? Back checking in with the podcast. Definitely got a great cast today. And I'm here to damage control the pro. So let's get
it. Yeah, and you already know Jack Move Johnny's gonna do a lot of that today. So say what up, Jack.
Hey, what's poppin' everybody? It's Jack Move, man. The guru at Giddy Up. But you can also call me your pony commissioner.
Yeah, I don't know. Every
never get old.
Bro. Yeah, never get old,
I think
bro.
he just rehearses that all the time. I know.
That never gets old, like real talk. And we got Mock up in here.
Yo, I'm not fit as fuck, and I don't have like a super cool intro, but I'm happy to be here, talk about Scorpio stuff. I run a little YouTube channel, making some guides, trying to help people out. Part-time TXR podcast. We talk about Xbox stuff from a non-fanboy perspective, though.
There you go.
And we got Joey. Say what up, Joey.
You two was good, fam. Joey Luciano. Appreciate the opportunity, Kofi.
And we got Sam. Say what up, Sam.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Kofi, for inviting me to be here. I'm Sam from Real Game Media. I'm a senior editor and writer. We put out opinion pieces, news, and reviews pretty much every single day. And I'm also a co-host of the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, which goes live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. Dope podcast. Definitely check out BRAP. I rock with those guys. And, let's just get into this, man. Let's talk about this Scorpio, man, because, this has been the big talk of the day. So
this is
what do you guys think of Project Scorpio specs? So Fame, you started off for us, man.
Yo, honestly, I think it's, for me personally, it's about what I expected. I did expect for them to come through with what they said, and it would be the most powerful console on the market, which that is true. I didn't expect today to show anybody anything about no games, which I think is a great thing, because with them getting the specs and stuff out of the way, talk about the price later on, and then E3 would be all about the game. So I think today was, like I said, it was what I expected, from the side of the power of the console to the side of the goal pole being pushed.
We're gonna talk about that.
The reason I say this is because originally everyone said, "Oh, that Scorpio never do 4K." All right, people that gave that up. All right, well, it's only gonna be 4K 30. And people kind of gave it up. They're like, all right, well, if it's ever gonna be 4K 60, it's gonna be 4K 60 at low settings. It's gonna be ugly as I'll get. I want to go 4K 60, right? Okay. We found out today, and this straight from Eurogamer. From what I've seen so far, there's some evidence Scorpio's true 4K performance composed of talents the likes of NVIDIA GTX 1070, AMD's Fury X-Class hardware. I've seen Microsoft's new console run. They got Forza Motorsport 6 clocked at 4K 60 to the equivalent of PC's ultra settings.
Ooh,
so now that everything
right.
everything people said that couldn't happen is happening. Now it's Well, I could screen share if you guys want. I've literally seen people say now that their argument of not doing 4K 60 PC Ultra settings, now they're saying, oh, well, since it's Jaguar, it's underpowered. I've literally seen dudes say that the console was underpowered, so they're going to stick to
Jeez, Fame, you're just throwing out firebombs today. So that, I think
we got a late bird up in here. You know, I know the best bot couldn't help but come here and, you know, praise the Scorpio. Say what up.
What's up, everybody? It is the best buy, and don't worry, once that official Scorpio name drop, we drop in Switch Gang Hit 'em Up this
ASAP. Yeah, Kid Smooth, bro. We drop a Switch Gang diss track. You know it's a war because me and Omega are gonna go hard. You already know what it is. So you can't really do that.
I don't know, Kid. Smooth.
But to my point, like I
said,
everything I expected to happen today happened, and I also expect people to continue to push the goalposts back as far as they can. At the end of the day, Microsoft did deliver on what they said would be the most powerful console, and it is.
I think Fame. I think you definitely do have a point. Sam and I were talking about it before the show started, and what really was really interesting to me was how they baked DirectX 12 directly into the motherboard, or like the same chip. And I think games that are DirectX 12 specifically are going to really, really show very well compared to other games that are not DirectX 12. So I think games that are like, you know, like Forza, like Gears, like Star Wars Battlefront, those games will do 4K 60 with really great settings. But I think also the way that it was set up with to be an RX 480 basically as the console or as the GPU, you know, it's a great card. It's a good card for $240. It's the 6 teraflops like that would be. So Smooth, what the hell are you doing?
Yo, Kid Smooth, you glitching out here, bro.
You gonna run
the best bot?
The best bot.
I think the circuit's fried, bro.
We're moving the goalposts, and you're totally right. But I do think that the term "no compromises" will come up, and I feel like there will be compromises in the future with this.
Now, can I touch on that really fast?
All right, real quick before we get J-Man. Go quick.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Everyone pushes this 4K 60 uncompromised, right? Everyone says, "Oh, Phil lied to you about 4K 60 uncompromised." Well, the fact is, there was Albert Pinello came into our Tick podcast, and not once did he say all games on Xbox Scorpio will be 4K 60 uncompromised. That was a goal that they wanted to do. So I want to make sure everybody clear. For everybody jumping, oh, where's the 4K 60 uncompromised? Phil never said that. Albert Pinello never said that would be the case. That was a goal that they wanted. That was a goal looking forward. It never said that's what that would be.
I don't think anyone expects that. I don't think anyone expects every single game to release.
Well, Scorpio, I think there are people that will expect that. And Fame, I made a video about that actually, about no compromises, and I think that's a very dumb thing for them to say, especially in their like initial reveal trailer for the Scorpio. But sometimes marketing and hype take over people's emotions, and they say things they shouldn't say, like thinking that Ryzen will be in this console.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, don't spoil the show, bro. Yeah, don't spoil the show yet, bro. Alex, wait, bro, we're gonna get to that. Yo, J-Man, what did you think of the specs and of the reveal of Project Scorpio?
I thought that they hit on all the cylinders that they said they were going to. It's definitely gonna be stronger than the Pro. That's not even like they tucked the Pro in. That thing is good night. But I do expect to see a lot of 4K games with the Xbox Scorpio.
Okay.
4K 60, I think we will definitely see that on sports titles, racers, stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with like the big open world games as far as frame rate. Because I do think even for a game like Red Dead, they can hit 4K, but it's going to be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. Hold up. I know what you think. I know what you're thinking. But I wanted to say that I was really impressed mostly with their attention to detail with things for 1080p users, backwards compatibility.
Yes.
And it was something else. But basically, the super sampling is system wide. So Sony needs to take note because not every PS4 Pro game is super sampled because it's on a game by game basis. So that's really important. And that's something that I give kudos to them. And just the whole design team, you know, all the things that they did with the custom GPU, the custom CPU, like it's running, Jaguar, Polaris, whatever you want to call it. But
Jaguar evolved.
You know that Pokemon.
It's just that's just really a nickname.
Okay. They're running the Jaguar, and
How do I know Kid Smooth gonna jump in though? Right when he said evolve, bro. All right, go ahead, bro.
Nah, but I'm just to finish up and say, like, I was really impressed with the design team and everything they got going on behind the scenes. So yeah, overall, I would like to see more games other than Forza 6 because that's not that demanding. But I would like to see more, and of course, we're gonna get that in the future. But yeah, E3 games. Let's get it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, if I could go real quick, if you
All right, yeah, Joey, go ahead, bro.
I'm pretty much on the same page with everybody else. It's kind of what I expected it to be. But the thing that impressed me about this is how they're tweaking each die to the motherboard that they're placing it on. Like that to me was big. Like that.
What a weird concept, right?
Yeah, like to me, that's not the form fitting. They're not just putting everything together in one box and going go. Because people that play on PC know about the silicon lottery, right? So you get a good silicon, you can overclock, you can do all these things. They're actually taking the time to take each die that comes off the press and tweaking it to fit the motherboard exactly, so everything runs the way it should run across the board. And I think that, along with the vapor chamber that they're putting on this machine, those show a level of commitment in console hardware that you've not seen for a long time, and that kind of impressed me. Now,
Joey, do you think with that, because usually the more people touch something, the
it's
more
going to add to the
expensive
cost?
it gets?
That's your question?
No, like how's the cost going to be? What do you
I think it's definitely moving it away from the $399 figure.
Yeah,
like that. When you pay attention to stuff like that, when you get a little more hands-on, you give that little extra detail, that spit and shine. It's gonna add to the overall cost.
Yeah,
but
I feel like the more people touch something, the more expensive it gets.
Yes, if you ever worked in stadiums or stuff like that, you wonder how can they charge $8 for a soda. You have to remember all the people that have to get paid off that soda. You have to pay for the dock that the product came in, the people that took it off the dock, the people that stored it, the people that moved it up to beverage control, the beverage people for putting it in the concession stands.
That better be some good fucking soda for $8.
But that's how it is. They have to fund everybody with it. So to his point, he's correct. But I would also like to state really, really quick where I said in my video today that if y'all gonna say that this is the same generation, then don't start acting brand new. Get excited and feel yourselves, because no matter what, how powerful this system is, if it doesn't have IP, it ain't worth nothing. And the IP is what I want. I'm happy that I said they would knock it out. They're gonna give you 4K 30 across the board. In the more linear games, you might could get 4K 60, but you're gonna get a good console. They're gonna give you what you want. Well, that you gotta pay for it because they're not giving it to nobody.
Yeah.
But don't start walking around like the last 3 years y'all ain't been getting stomped. And to the Sony dudes, let everybody live a little bit, bro. Let these dudes be happy. They don't need to defend themselves. My man Fame came in here like a flamethrower. Like, don't you tell me. And then, Kid is gonna say some outlandish shit within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So that's guaranteed. But I think I don't get excited anymore, and I think maybe because since 2013 I've bought 4 consoles already. I bought a vanilla on both ends, an S and a Pro, and so now here we go again. Here's another one. I think that excitement that we had in 2013 for the new consoles is starting to fade away because we waited 8 years for those consoles, and so by the 8, 9, 10 years, and by the time they came, everybody was rabid. Now you're giving us stuff like you give people cell phones, and eventually that's gonna wear thin too. But I was impressed with it, like the DX12 integration. To me, it could be a catch-22. It might end up like the ES RAM, depending on who wants to use it, who doesn't want to use it. You know what I mean? It's Microsoft, but I can't see why you wouldn't use it if it's taking all those calls, if it's rendering thousands of calls down to 11. Like, that's amazing. If this system does everything it says it does, it's as far as consoles go, a good look. And I digress.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's incredibly efficient if everything on paper is the way it's supposed to be.
yes.
Super
Yes.
efficient. And I loved, and I know that Sam and probably Macro will probably talk on this more, but porting an Xbox One game to the Scorpio in 2 days, I think is incredibly impressive.
They have a
And-
really big team there, though, with a lot of money. I'd
Yeah.
be interested to see what an indie dev could do that in. I feel like it would probably take a month or two.
A month or two, but I think that time less spent on porting will lead to more time of optimization and better visuals or better AI, or in some case, some sort of improvement.
Oh, for sure. The adoption rate is.
I'm not impressed by the hardware. I'm impressed by the small, I guess you could say, machinations of extra little bits that people are glossing over in
I
the system.
spell that machination.
Yeah. So Marco, yo,
It's a good word.
so Marco, yo, what did you think of the reveal?
Yeah, overall, I'm pleased with it. Like, my expectations were what we got. The people who expected, like, Red Dead Redemption gameplay, like, I don't know what they were smoking, but I got what I expected, so I'm a happy dude. The hardware looks great. Like, the specs look like everything we need. Hopefully there's no bottlenecks in there. There's a lot still to be said. Like, I'm super excited about the stuff that they're going to have for gamers who want to stay in 1080p. I'm super excited for what they want to do for the gamers who still want to continue playing their Xbox One games. And the way I'm comparing this is, like, you get an announcement on a car and they tease you with the biggest fucking engine you can put in a car. There's still a lot of things you got to put in there to make it a full-on car, and in this case, you got to make the full console. But it's a really good starting point where we're now. They got to deliver us some games. And as for, like, will every game be 4K 60? Hell no. There's going to be a lot of 4K games. There will be some at 60 frames per second. Should we expect that as a baseline for every game? Not in our wildest dreams.
Yeah, I agree. Sam, yo, want to give your 2 cents?
Okay, so I mean, I'm kind of on board pretty much with everything Maka said. I was very pleased with it. Everyone who expected, tech specs and in-depth look at the technology of what Microsoft is doing is going to be very pleased. Reading everything and watching the videos that Digital Foundry put out. I'm really pleased by Microsoft's attention to detail, and I don't remember who said it. So, sorry, someone said this already, those small machinations and the small little bits that they are paying attention to, like the forced super sampling, which is going to be on a system level. They actually updated one of their articles just now that I'm looking at. That's not a developer thing. If a game renders at a higher resolution than 1080p, it will downsample. End of the discussion. That's fantastic. That gives something great to people who are still playing on a 1080p TV. The implementation of, times 16 AF on back compat games, dealing with a lot of, the ugly texture filtering and stuff like that. Okay. That's good. It's a lot of these little small bits that start adding up, and there's a lot of care and attention to detail being placed in what Microsoft is doing here.
Yeah,
now they just need to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
I was just saying. So I think in terms of hardware, they definitely have a strong basis here for the premium consumer, for people who want an incredibly powerful console. Now they are just going to have to show us the games at E3. And I think it's a very telling sign. This is the last thing I'll say, that they were willing to reveal the specs now, because that means we're not getting any of this at E3. That gives us more time to talk about games there. So that's a very strong sign of confidence, them coming through a third party like Digital Foundry, who, there's a bit of a tenuous relationship there in some of the community, whatnot, even though there really shouldn't be. Digital Foundry just does their job.
Yeah.
So it screams confidence. They're on a roll, I think. They just need to keep delivering.
It was definitely a good start. Like, this is definitely a good start for the new console that's coming out. All right, yo, Jack, I heard you sold your PS4 Pro for a Scorpio. Is that true?
Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
So, do you care about all of this?
Not really. Or what I will say is, I saw one of the Digital Foundry videos, man. I ain't reading on the articles, but from what I'm seeing, it looked like it's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Salute to them. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a dope console. Only thing is, y'all know with me, man, I'm all about these games. I want to see what games coming out.
Yeah, that's most important. Like, we could sit here and talk about, how, powerful it is, how efficient it's gonna run. But at the end of the day, we have to look forward to some to play. You know what I'm saying?
So I think today was
So Kids Move, Kids Move, yo, real quick. What's your 2 cents on? Because you were talking mad reckless today on Twitter, dissing everybody.
Yeah, I warned everybody last week that on Thursday people were going to want to block me. I gave heads up. So
coming at PC gamers, coming at everybody, bro.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing: it's like everybody, and the thing is, everybody is still doing this passive aggressive dismissing it, and it's like, I don't care if people dismiss it. It's the fact that the downplaying and trying to convince people, oh, it's not this, and everybody keeps saying Jaguar, and they're like ignoring what was actually said and what the guy was saying. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I know we can look at the numbers and say, oh, well, damn, it's not that much better than a pro. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna say this, right? People keep saying games. Xbox gets games by default. And now Scorpio is going to be the best place to play these games if you're a console gamer at the highest fidelity. So I don't want to hear they need games. You're going to get a whole ton of games. They may not be exclusives, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be exclusively playing them shits at 4K on a console.
That's facts, though.
We all friends are so
what's funny is I used to make the joke because I'm a big PC gamer, and everybody would say like, Alex, what are 2 exclusives that PC has? And I would say 1080p 60 FPS. But I can't make that joke anymore.
Yo, Sam and Jack Moo hit it on the head, man. The best part about today is the fact that now we can look forward to seeing just games at E3. At E3, they can come out, show a photo. This is the freaking Xbox Scorpio. This is the price, and they can spend the next 90 minutes talking about games. That's the best part of getting this out of the way, because that is the most important part. Is the software. Hardware means jack shit unless you get the software to back it up.
Yeah.
So if anything, this bodes a promising move for E3 that we're gonna get 90 minutes of games, whether it's third party, first party, whatever the case may be. We get 90 minutes of games. Show us what the console look like. Show us the price, which, like I said from Jump Street, it's gonna be $500. Gonna be $500.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's about right.
At the most.
With this, what do you think Sony is going to do? And also, Jack, what do you think Sony's going to do?
Oh, they gonna do what they've been doing this gen, and they're gonna try to stay a foot ahead of Microsoft. They're gonna cut the price of the Pro probably by like $50. And they gonna do what a lot of people didn't expect to do. They're gonna drop a God of War or something like that around the holiday season. Sony ain't dumb. Sony been a step ahead this entire gen. Right? They're gonna drop the price of the Pro by 50 bones, and they're gonna drop something like God of War right in the holiday season. I hit Microsoft back in the mouth. I promise you.
I swear Alex got all my footnotes, bro, because he be like announcing my topics before I even do this shit.
I'm getting my masters. You gotta get
He has all my footnotes, bro. But before we get into like price and all of that, I want to get everyone's predictions on that later. But I just want to ask you guys, like, how do you think Scorpio is going to be adopted by the casuals? Is this console strictly for the hardcore gamer, or you think Microsoft actually wants this to, sell a lot?
It's for the hardcore console gamer, because
that's what you think. No, that's what you think.
I'm actually
Isn't that who the Pro is for?
No, because PC gamers, if they want the best PS4 games, they have to get a Pro. PC gamers, if they want the best Microsoft games, they can just stay where they at. So
depending on what kind of PC they got. Now everybody claim to have them a beast. Oh, my PC is the shit. Everybody claim to have a beast.
Usually you're a GPU away from having a pretty good PC, but that's why I say it's for the console, hardcore console gamer. Wait, what was your question again? I don't even remember.
I'm just saying, like, how do you feel like the Scorpio is going to be adopted by the public? I guess you could get into price too, because like that's all part of it.
I feel like if it's priced at $400, they're trying to win the market. If it's priced at $500, they're just trying to keep it like that elite,
I don't think they can price it at $400.
I don't think they would. But I'm saying, if I saw the price at $400, I'd be like, all right, they're trying to be competitive.
They're trying to be competitive, right? Yeah, I feel you.
For some reason, I feel
that at $500 is still very competitive.
Correct. Yeah, I feel like
I don't know. Yo, listen, this is why I say this, because look, Sony, the casuals, they already think that the Pro is probably a 4K device. because Sony already markets the PlayStation Pro as a 4K. Yeah, you could laugh, and we know that it's 4K native lineup. It's not impressive at all, right? But do the masses know this? You know what I'm saying?
No, the masses don't.
They don't know this. So they're gonna walk into EB Games, GameSpot, whatever, Best Buy, and they're gonna see the Scorpio, and they're gonna see the PS4 Pro. They're both being marketed to play games at 4K. You know what I'm saying? And one's gonna be maybe $100 more. So you know what I'm saying? So if Microsoft really wants to compete, they would price this console the same price as a PlayStation 4 Pro.
There's no way they can do that.
Yeah, there's no way they can do that because I understand that the technology that's in the Pro is, the Scorpio is way advanced.
Well, I think we need to go by the word of what Microsoft's already telling us, which is it's for the hardcore gamer. They expect the Xbox One S to still be the selling point on Xbox. So I think for people who are assuming, it's going to be the great system seller. It's going to be that's not the case. They marketed it towards the hardcore gamer, and they still expect the Xbox One S to be the lead selling console on Xbox.
Yeah. I can accept that. Honestly, the way right now, I feel like Microsoft is like how they revealed this. Right now, they're on track. Right now, everything looks good. Like honestly, the Scorpio. We're looking at the specs. Yeah, people kind of over exaggerated, saying it's gonna slap PCs. I know a couple people are trying to say it's gonna like slap the 1080. Like they were like really hyping it up. Yeah, it's not gonna deliver that, but what it's delivering in the console space is definitely amazing. But if this console is priced at like $699 or $599,
that's fine.
It's definitely dead on arrival.
Yeah, no chance. No chance.
No chance.
The way I'm looking at it is that. Look, hardcore gamers are hardcore gamers. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. If you have the money, you don't have to be a hardcore gamer to want the best thing. Yeah. So the way I'm looking at it is that I think they're just trying to target 4K adopters. I don't really think that they necessarily you want someone who identifies as a gamer because that's, it's good for someone who identifies as a gamer to buy the best gaming device. And it's a self-fulfilling loop. At the same time, they know that people are adopting 4K technology. They know that the people who are adopting it don't necessarily have a lot of TV to watch. They don't necessarily have a way to get the full potential of their new TVs or their new monitors or whatever. And to me, it's just like, I'm buying this 4K TV for whatever $1,000. Why not get this console that's going to be the best fit for my new TV? And it's to me, it's like they're future-proofing their console for what people are moving towards on their own anyways. And that's regardless of whether they consider themselves or don't consider themselves a hardcore gamer. Because right now, you can consider yourself a hardcore gamer. But in 2 years, the Scorpio is not going to be for hardcore gamers. They're going to want it to be for everyone when they start announcing Scorpio version 2.
Maka, do you think that for some reason, the way this console is designed and the way I'm looking at it, I feel like possibly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking if Microsoft is trying to go for another 10-year plan, like with the 360.
No. A plan in Scorpio, but Scorpio's going to have versions.
I think a lot of Microsoft plan is to getting back to their roots, which is kind of how they did with the original OG Xbox. They had a powerful console, though it wasn't the most it didn't sell the most. It was the most powerful console at the time, and they had a buttload of exclusives with the OG Xbox. And then 360 came, they really pushed the market. I think Microsoft is, with this console, I think, number one, they flexing a muscle. And number two, it's an attempt to go back to their roots, which anybody who actually was first console wasn't the 360, which is most of these retards out here.
Tell us how you really feel, fam.
Most of the OG Xbox, it was the most powerful console, and it had exclusive.
Yeah, but the OG Xbox was the most powerful console, but it didn't translate into sales.
That's the first thing I said. Wait a minute.
Jesus, my God! I'm sorry. It's gonna be all right, man.
That's the first thing I said. It wasn't the most selling, but this kind of shows them trying to get back to their roots.
Yo, and just so you know, I've had an Xbox Live account for 14 years. I've been there since the OG Xbox and the launch of the 360. I'm with you. I just don't fuck with the bullshit.
I don't even think Kids Smooth out of OG Xbox, bro. Low key.
Oh, damn.
Kids Smooth. I had OG 2010. You know.
I had an OG Xbox. I actually I was too young for that. My brothers brought it into the crib, but yeah, like I've been playing on the original Xbox from time still.
I had a PS2 because of fucking Metal Gear. I had Metal Gear.
I had PS2. I've been gaming since gaming, but That's not the point here. Like, I feel I get what you're saying, Fame. Believe me. And I know, like, y'all want to feel vindicated and everything.
Wait, but who is y'all though? I probably play on PlayStation more than half you dudes who claim they rock with it.
Oh shit!
Okay. I'm saying the community as a whole.
Small things. Like I said, I wasn't trying to get at you. Small things like the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I know the power didn't equate to sales, and then somebody jump in and say, well, they don't mean sales. Like I said,
well, that was me, but I didn't hear. I apologize because I didn't hear that part. I was just trying to reiterate that, power doesn't equate to sales, but I didn't hear when you already said that.
It's all good, player. We good.
Okay, yeah, I was talking to J Main before we went live, and we were talking about the Xbox One's actual, identity, the name of the system. Do you guys think that there's too much negativity around the Xbox One's name?
Absolutely.
Do you think Microsoft should stay away from it with this new console? Do you believe that this console should, separate itself from the Xbox One and be called something differently? Because like at this point, like the name has a bad reputation. You can't change that.
Well, the name for the One was also just a misnomer in the beginning, to be honest, because it was supposed to be the one place for everything, right? So that doesn't make any sense now because they dropped Kinect, they dropped TV, they dropped all that stuff.
Yeah, but they still want people buying it for Netflix. As much of a joke as it is that it's a Netflix box, they still want those people who want a Netflix box to buy Xboxes.
They're trying to sell
I'm wondering if maybe they're going to have to stay with the Xbox name, but what?
The One.
Honestly, I've kind of fallen in love with the name Scorpio itself. I think it's a very cool fucking edgelord name. And I think
it's kind of gay. I can't even lie. I think it's kind of gay.
And honestly,
like, kind of gay. Real talk, I really do.
The more I hear it, I'm like, yeah, fucking Scorpio. It's just kind of cool. Shit, it's kind of funny, but I would be very happy if they stayed with Scorpio. I really wouldn't. It wouldn't bother.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your guys' take on that. Do you guys feel like, with this new console, do you think they should move away from the Xbox One name? Because it's too much negativity, yo.
Let me hop in real quick.
All right, Marcus, say what up.
I made a video. I was like, here are the 5 things a Scorpio needs to do to be successful. The first thing I said, drop the One name. The 2013 reveal hurt it way too much. There's still people out there. We're talking casuals, not people listening in on podcasts and taking that extra step to care about gaming. The casuals still think DRM's an issue. Casuals still have nightmares about 2013. They still think you can't share games with your friends. And that's a problem. And that's associated with Xbox One. You take out the One, you let people know it's a little bit of a different generation. You have a little bit of an issue because you're trying to get people to know that they can bring all their stuff forward. But at the same time, in my opinion, you got to distance yourself away from that. And I went a step further. I went on Twitter and I was like, yo, guys, do you think Xbox One should drop the One in the name? 600 people voted. Half of the people think they should drop it. And then 20% of people are undecided. That leaves only like 30% of the people who think like One should stay in the name. So I don't know. It's a confusing topic.
Keep it because it's an Xbox One. That's the thing. It's still an Xbox.
But that's a bad thing.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's branding.
That's the problem. The name is hurt. Kid Smooth. The name is tarnished. No matter what you could say,
Well, thanks to the internet.
After Yoshida passed Adam Boyes, that game, bro, was game over, bro.
It's a double-edged sword because for one, Phil wants to push the agenda, push that it's part of the Xbox One family. I get that, but at the same time, call it what it is. The Xbox One compared to the PS4 is an absolute failure. Like you guys said before, people are afraid of the thinking about DRM and changing, not being able to play used games. So you have to drop the One. That way, the casual people will go out and buy the console because compared to the PS4, the Xbox One is a failure. It has all type of issues. So drop it, start anew, and call it Xbox.
I definitely agree with Fame. I feel like if you remove the One, then it's like a fresh start. You know what I'm saying?
I also agree with Kofi and Maka because when you look at something like the One name and you look at something like whatever they're going to name the Scorpio, I think to Maka's point, it's easier to convince people that you can move games forward from the One to the Scorpio than it is to convince them that it does not still have that horrid DRM that the One had in the beginning of time until Phil Spencer came in and corrected the ship. So I think the message is easier to tell people, don't worry, it's quote unquote backwards compatible with all your Xbox One games played on the Scorpio or whatever they're going to call it, rather than calling it the One and then re-saying that
And
no,
then
it
they're
doesn't
gonna have to
that
change
issue.
up
It
their
doesn't have-
boxes. You know how much money it's gonna cost them to change the name. They're gonna have to switch up their box arts, and they have to make sure every box art from 360 to Xbox One and now Scorpio to say all compatible with all consoles or something.
Well, I mean,
dude, they're making a new console.
It's-
They can figure out new box art, man. That's
Yeah, it's-
that's
yeah,
not a
but
big
they
deal.
still have like over
when you're looking at it,
they
it's-
have like over 1,000 games that they would have to repress, like or send
Not
GameStop,
repress,
Best Buy,
not
and
repress,
like
repress
new
it.
No,
box arts.
What are you talking about?
No, just what's going forward with Scorpio. Maybe they can. I don't know. Like I understand what Kid Smooth is trying to say. Like I do get what he's trying to say.
Well, yeah, I think it's somewhat of a point, but when you look at it, it's still under the quote unquote Xbox family, and you can play it off and market it that way.
I made this point. I made this point the other day. But look, back in the day, you had your phone, and it had to be told to you straight up that the next phone, like you can import your contacts, you can import your text messages. Like that was a thing that people didn't know was a thing. But now it's expected. Everyone knows shit carries forward with you. You take your email from computer to computer. You don't have to set up a new email every time you get a new internet service provider. I think it's common knowledge nowadays, especially in 2017, that shit just goes forward with.
Yeah.
Current year,
except for
not
games,
current
I mean,
year.
No, and I get that, but it's a challenge for the marketing and the branding. It's not. They shouldn't just give up because people might misunderstand and it's going to be challenging. They should just go forward and make the most out of the situation. And for that to happen, they got to market it. They got to brand it the right way. They have to tell people that shit goes forward. But at the same time, the shit we announced in 2013 was not cool, and we don't support that anymore. And by dropping the One, that's how we're showing you guys.
And I totally agree with you. And honestly, I think people don't give Phil enough credit where credit is due. The guy has really righted the ship of the Xbox brand more so than anyone could have ever imagined.
Yeah, so far I feel like he's done a good job with this, with implementing new services. You know, just rebranding the Xbox One with the Xbox One S. I feel like he's done a really good job there. The game front, right now, I got to see Phil Spencer's work there. You know,
that's why I kind of feel like they're going to keep the Xbox One name, is because I think Phil wants to show that he can turn the whole ship around. He wants to be that, because I remember PS3 started off slow, and then 3 years later, the whole shit then flipped around and everything was on point. So I think Phil wants to come in, start with the Xbox One S, move on to the Scorpio, and now he's going to come through with the games and try and rebrand the whole Xbox One name from the ground up.
Like, honestly, like they could work with the Xbox One name, I guess, and be successful, but they have to just really be strong in other areas, like with the games and stuff like that, you know, so they could work with the name. But I feel like, you know, this console will have an easier time out the gate if it wasn't named Xbox One.
True.
But Sam, we haven't heard from Sam in a minute. Sam, what do you think about this?
So they definitely should drop it simply due to the negativity associated with the name. I think Maka is 100% correct. Here's the thing, they won't though. I will go ahead and tell you right now, there's no way they're going to drop it, because they are going to make it clear that it is part of the Xbox One family. That is, you know, just the next level step in that ecosystem, because that's what Microsoft is all about. Everything with Xbox Game Pass, with Xbox Play Anywhere, Phil Spencer is about building a very powerful ecosystem, and so they are going to hammer home that point. They're going to drive in that nail. Now, I don't think it's the end of the world. You know, they can come up with a cool name or whatever, even if Scorpio is just, you know, a meme at this point that's stuck in everybody's heads. They can overcome that negativity. It's just they would have an easier time of it if they were willing to drop it.
Yeah, really. Yo, Jack, what do you think?
Pretty much I'm feeling like, you know, Sam, what he's saying, the thing is, you know, the Xbox, it ain't no secret, it has a negative stigma to the brand. However, the last thing Microsoft need right now with the Xbox brand is mixed messaging, right? So they gonna have to keep the Xbox One name. I think personally they should drop it. They gonna have to keep the name, bro. And what Shmoo said, it might not be the greatest point, but it is a point. Like, You know people stupid, bro. They go into the store, oh, I'm finna cop the Xbox. It might not say one. And then, oh, this say Xbox One. What am I doing? Honey, where the kids? Like, they stupid, bro. So they gotta
totally
keep the
right,
shit
Jack.
uniform, bro.
Yeah, like if they were gonna like switch up the name, they have to have signs there that this Xbox or Xbox X plays all Xbox One games.
Yeah,
Like, they have to have something stupid obvious like that. You know what I'm saying?
And
then
people
would
are
get it.
so
People would get it.
idiotic. People are very. I mean, people thought the Wii U was an extension of the Wii. So when you think about
I did that too because it was like all they did was add a tablet to the Wii console. That's what it looked like to me.
There was a lot of problems with that because the Wii and the Wii U, honestly, you could honestly get confused with them. They kind of look the same, and basically it's just a U. So is it the U just the tablet part? You know what I'm saying?
Like joint was a mid-gen refresh.
And they probably thought, oh, we're banking hard off the Wii name.
No, you're totally right. You're absolutely 100% right.
Honestly,
you're totally right.
Then Wii was named something else. It probably would have got a couple of more, 1-2 more million. Who knows? Probably because a lot of people did think it was just another Wii. You know, just a revision.
You know, speaking of, we talked about them maybe dropping one and starting out fresh. I think this, and I keep putting everything back to E3. I think E3 is another chance of starting fresh because for the first time, it's not going to be headlined by a Gears or a Halo. So it's time to have that face of a new console, even if it's an old face like Joanna Dark, a reboot of Perfect Dark.
Wow, that'd be
like
great.
It needs a face.
Perfect.
It
would
needs
be fantastic.
This Xbox needs a new face. It doesn't need Master Chief or Market Phoenix to be the face of this console. It needs a new face to completely start fresh. That's exactly what it needs.
You know what I was thinking?
They tried to do that with Agent Locke and Halo 5. Look how that turned out. Their
Yeah,
idea
but it was
when
still
they,
Halo.
Yeah, but their idea when they made Halo 5 was, let's introduce this new Agent Locke guy. Pete, we're going to win him over, make him super likable. We're going to have this new franchise based in Halo. And everyone hated it.
I think
Halo story didn't turn out well. We could talk about like that all day, but I feel like because Halo story didn't really turn out that great. You know what I'm saying? Halo story didn't turn out that great. I think that's why people didn't really rock with it.
I agree, though. They need some new stuff.
Yeah,
I would like to see them go through and say, "Here's Crackdown 3. Remember all the stuff about the cloud? We don't need it anymore because the Xbox Scorpio is so powerful. It does it all right."
I think that's what they're going to announce at E3. That the Scorpio version that just runs natively on the console.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that piss off original Xbox owners? That's gonna piss them off, bro.
Yeah, but we kind of know at this point, and people have assumed that the cloud technology is like real, but like it's kind of like fluff. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, like, does anyone really care? Does anyone really care about it? You know what I'm saying?
No, I kind of care about it. I care about it more. I'm a super tech dude. Like I find that kind of shit super fascinating, super interesting, and I don't really care about it in the context of Crackdown. I couldn't give a fuck. But my thing's more about like if they can get that tech working properly, they get that tech running, and they can implement that tech and make it better, and we see it evolve in the future, then that's going to be super cool. Like 10 years ago, we didn't know what gaming would look like now. And in 10 years, we don't really know what gaming will look like. So I think the foundation you lay is like this kind of cloud technology. You figure out where it can take you, what it can do, and you build from there.
I feel technology's not ready. Anything with internet connection kind of scares me, though. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you have to be connected online.
I agree.
It's the infrastructure that's really worrisome. And Maka, if you go to like Mega 64 and you watch one of their old videos of when they compared E3 then to E3 now. Remember when we were doing backflips about like wireless controllers and like all kinds of dumb shit, and now we're like, oh great, fucking bullshit. I think I would love it for it to be the same way we felt when we were like, what the fuck, no more cords, and we were like fucking losing our minds like for controllers and dumb shit. Like I would love for that feeling to come back, but I really need to see
their shit for a 6-axis controller because you can steer a car with your hands.
Nuts and just like
fucking.
All right, yeah. We have to get this podcast even later. Right now, we're gonna talk about PlayStation now, real quick.
Oh boy.
All right, now that the Scorpio has been revealed, does PlayStation have to answer? Jack, what do you think?
Honestly, bro, the way it's going right now, not really. In my opinion, not really. Honestly, like I said, man, same thing with Microsoft. They gotta show some new games at E3. Now, if they come out at E3 and show a whole bunch of games we've been seeing, or a whole bunch of games we know about, it's gonna be an issue, bro. Like they gotta announce probably 2-3 new games at E3, man. As long as they keep these games coming, I do think they might drop the price of the Pro around the holidays. I do see that happening, but as far as that, man, I see how they doing it.
So you don't think PlayStation they have nothing to worry about with the Scorpio release right now? You think that that's gonna force them into making a price drop for the Pro though? You actually believe so?
Well, I mean, if they want to stay competitive during the holidays, you know, they should put it on sale if you ask me. But
if they're smart, they'll drop the price.
Yeah, they'll drop the price. I don't think it's gonna be a permanent, nothing like that.
Yo, so Kid Smooth, yo, this is the end of PlayStation, right? As we know,
I don't believe it's the end of PlayStation. That was never my words. I just think the Scorpio is, like I said, the Xbox has a console that's a beast. I will continue to play my multiplats on my Xbox console, and I'll play my PlayStation for only exclusives. Like, you know what I mean? That's just what I'll do. Now I'm even more validated because now my Scorpio from early looks can do things that my 980 Ti can't. So just saying. I can't get more. I cannot get.
What? Huh?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Yep. And I trust me. All right, you know what? I'm gonna end this short there. This is what I'm gonna do. If the minute I get like if there's 6 games, I'm gonna get, if there's 6 games that runs 4K 60 on a Scorpio this year, I will sell my 980 Ti.
Okay, but you need to understand. Okay, what's your CPU? What's your CPU that's in your?
I have a i5 6600.
All right, so most likely, do you know that like whatever that can be played in 4K on the Scorpio, your PC will be able to play it. You know that though, right?
No.
You don't know that?
No, I'm not saying that is true. I'm not going with the notion that is true, because so you're telling me regardless, a PC can just run games at 4K 60 no matter what.
You're not understanding me. Well, it's depending what you have, what hardware.
Depending on what you have. That's the thing.
So when
I am not. If I have to do anything else,
because
my PC,
you're blown.
To get it 4K 60. There's no need. There is no need.
Yo, but Kiss Move, you're blown away with Forza, basically the tech demo being.
I don't care.
4K 60.
That was
but
all
you know
I needed.
But you know your PC could already do that. So why are you going crazy though?
What? My PC can't already. My PC
can run Forza.
You
can run Forza
4K.
Apex 4K. Yo, Kids Move, your PC right now can run Forza Apex 4K
maxed out
frames per second, maxed out. Your PC that you have in your house right now.
You're 980. You have a 980 Ti, right?
I have a 980 Ti.
Your 980 Ti is very similar, in my opinion, to a 1060. Correct me if I'm wrong.
1070 even maybe
even a 1070 if you overclocked it. You could honestly do exactly what the Scorpio does with your current PC setup right now. Why are you struggling?
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying why he's like blown away.
But you understand why I'm excited. See, here's the thing. I'm excited because I'm a console gamer. And I can get now what my 980 Ti is pretty much supposed to do if I overclock it or do some nixes and dixes there. My Xbox will be able to do. But
you
even
don't
if I
have
don't
to
have
do
to do
that.
that,
I mean,
I have a console that can actually do that.
No, look, listen. You don't have to do that. I understand the comfort level of being a console gamer. I completely understand. It's definitely not an issue that I have a problem with. I have a problem with you saying non-facts.
Yeah, your PC can.
So the thing is,
so how many games can a 980 Ti run at 4K 60 Ultra?
Quite a bit, actually.
Yo, okay, but Kids Smooth, right now it's not confirmed that everything is doing on the Scorpio 4K.
And it's not confirmed that it ain't.
So look, you know what, Kids Smooth, we will have you back on when more games come out for the Scorpio and they have more tests. But if you're really expecting 4K 60 to be the norm on Scorpio, you're gonna be disappointed. I'm telling you straight up.
I don't expect it to be normal.
The norm, like I'm really telling you straight up. You're gonna be
did you expect it from other than racers and sports games?
I expect. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. At the end of here's the thing, right? We've been spouting power. I built the PC because it's powered at 4K. Oh, we can play Xbox games at this and that and the third.
Okay.
I'm just saying now, I got a console, an Xbox console at that, to do what I got pretty much a PC for. So now my PC can remain a PC like it did, and I can just, I don't have a need to play on the thing. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I'm a constant. This is why this is important, because people are like, oh, well, you have a PC, or PC can do this, PC can do that. Not everybody is a PC gamer.
Yo, we agree.
And that's what makes this thing such a big deal.
I completely agree. Not everyone is a PC gamer. That's completely fine, and I feel that as a valid point. Now the thing is, you cannot simply say things like, I don't need my PC because the Scorpio. Well,
I don't need it.
Look. Please,
before you start cutting me off.
Listen here, because this is where I want to decipher. This is the perfect time to decipher all this bullshit. People are like, oh, you don't need an Xbox because the PC plays all Xbox games, and I'm like, well, okay. Let's say, I have an Xbox, right? I had an Xbox since launch, right?
Okay.
I accumulated the games over time. They announced all Xbox games are going to PC. Oh, you don't need an Xbox no more. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of my Xbox and build a PC. Okay. I build a PC. Oh, damn, where's my fucking library of games? Oh, I got to rebuy them all except for my Play Anywhere titles. Now, you're telling me, the Xbox has a console that's going to be, for the most part, well, we know it's going to do 4K, but I'm going to get the best, some of the best performance out of this console. And guess what? All the games that I had in my library are going to be able to take advantage of that? No, I don't need a PC.
Well, the thing is, your PC is practically almost exactly what you have in the Xbox Scorpio. So I don't know why you have a problem.
Okay, no.
My PC is a Scorpio without the games.
Well, console games are library. Hold on. Yo, we gotta correct Kid Smooth real quick. You brought up your past library. The Scorpio is not gonna play. It's gonna play your past library better, right? But it's gonna play it at its original target, setting that it had.
Yeah,
so,
that's if
unless there's a patch. Unless there's a patch. So
I understand that. But the thing is, by default, it still gets an improvement. That is crazy.
No, basically, if the game was meant to run at 30 frames per second and it was chugging around 25, it's going to run at 30
It's going to run at 30 frames. I know that.
The difference on the PC, you know what I'm saying? You could play that.
The difference on the PC, I don't have it on the PC. I already had it, though, on the Xbox. The difference is I have to rebuy the game on the PC.
Okay,
I get where he's coming from, man. He got a 980 Ti to browse Facebook, and he likes the convenience of a console.
That's not a problem. There's no problem with that. I completely understand the convenience of a console, because I know I'll be the first to tell you that how annoying PC gaming can be. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to let you know it can be really. And
Kofi, if you want annoying, do what I do and try to get all the emulators working.
Yeah, PC gaming could be annoying. So I understand that the whole convenience thing, but for him to say that the Scorpio is doing things that his 980 Ti can't is wrong, though. You're definitely wrong for saying that, kids.
Yo, if I'll tell you this.
You're trying to move like. I'm
gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what my 980 Ti doesn't do exactly right now.
What?
It does not run. Mm-hmm. It does not run Quantum Break at 4K 60 Ultra.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And neither will the Scorpio.
If the Scorpio, I'm not saying that it will, but if it did run 4K 60, it's a win for me.
Yeah, I understand.
The reason why the 980 Ti doesn't do that is due to the optimization that the developers came up with, right? It has nothing to do with your card. It has to do everything to do with the optimization.
Yeah, but Kids, you got to understand, the Scorpio is likely not to run Quantum Break, the max settings as a PC do.
I don't really.
But you believe that?
I don't want to hear, because there's a lot of things over the past weeks that people said Scorpio's not likely to do this. Scorpio's not likely to do that, and then here you go. They
what? Bring it up. Like what?
I understand what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say is that for him, he no longer has the need for this PC that he let everybody else talk him into building.
Yeah,
that's fair. Pretty much. And
that makes sense.
But what I'm going to say to him is this: just because you now don't need a PC don't start underselling the capabilities of what your PC is capable of.
Yeah,
Right.
You just don't want to take advantage.
No, because I know there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people like me who were, you know, that pressure talk
but
of, oh, get a
everything-
PC, get a gaming
Hold
PC
on.
and whatnot.
So kids, hold on. You need to understand. Okay, so PC has this wonderful thing called Steam, and it's made by a wonderful company called Valve. And
But
they do
Steam is
these
not
things-
Xbox.
Let him finish.
And they do these things called Steam sales
I swear,
4 times a year.
Your
Okay?
brain is
And you can buy games dirt cheap that your 980 Ti can run at 4K, even at 60, even at 30, that will put a lot of other consoles to shame.
That's fine, you know, but I'm not a big fan of rebuying a game. I'd rather
But
have
even
those
then-
games just follow me wherever I go.
Smooth, hold on. Even then,
Okay,
you still have Windows 10, and if you did, it's pretty inexpensive to get. And in fact, you can get it for free and not activate it. You can still get the Windows Store and all those really wonderful things. So it really depends on if you want to spend the minimum of what we're thinking of $500 on a whole new console when you already have a box that does everything that the Scorpio will do right now.
I'm
You
gonna
see what
ask
I'm getting at?
what might be a stupid question.
I see where you're getting at, but I'm not a PC gamer, so that's the thing.
Yeah, we
So that's
understand
okay.
this.
Why
That's
did-
fine.
But that's okay. You can just take your controller
That's fine.
and you can plug it into your PC and it becomes a console.
Yo, Alex, look, Kids Move, you prefer to play on your Xbox, right?
Correct.
That is absolutely fine. But what we're trying to say is, right now, you're saying that the Scorpio is going to do things that your current PC build can't do, but you're wrong though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to say like, oh, Scorpio is going to be way more powerful than your PC, which is incorrect.
Can I make a quick point really fast? I don't think the Scorpio's a reason to get rid of your PC. But if you're not a PC gamer, I think it's a reason you may hold off on getting a PC.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
True.
Honestly, it's a
100%.
good solution to play Xbox games. Not everyone wants to go through the trouble building a rig. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone wants to game on PC. You know,
And that's basically what Smooth was trying to say.
yeah.
but
So
you
yeah,
know,
which is cool. Yeah, which is cool. So this
Way to
being
make
an
it sound
option.
intelligent, Jack. I appreciate it.
Yo, this being an option.
We're trying to break it down for him, and he keeps on reiterating what everybody's trying to iterate for him.
y'all know Smooth a little touch, man. Y'all
Yeah,
got
I think Smooth low key. I think he's a mastermind. I think he's like the brain.
So Joey and Jack,
Yeah,
down
he's
where I
trolling
live
niggas.
in Florida, you know what we say for people like Smooth? We say, bless your heart.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yo, I just say
There you
I'm gonna pray for him, yo.
There you go,
I'm
there
gonna
you
pray
go.
for him.
Like I said, if you don't have a PC, I think Scorpio it'll keep you from it'll hold you off from buying it. But if you got one,
True.
I don't see a reason why to get rid of it.
Absolutely. Fame, 100% agree with you, sir.
Yeah. Did you guys hear the rumors? Do you guys hear the rumors that the Scorpio is supposed to be smaller than the Xbox One S or something like that?
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
totally
heard
will
that.
be. I think
That's
it's going to be
crazy.
so fucking small, it's going to blow your fucking mind. 'Cause
Really?
When I was looking at what they were showing at Digital Foundry,
Yeah.
everything is on the actual board. The GPU, the CPU, it's all one fucking board. And then they have the fucking vent cooler right on top. And when they showed it from the top down and they kind of like stripped away the top cover, you just had the fucking DVD, the Ultra HD Blu-ray player, and then right next to it, I feel like it's going to be the size of 4 Blu-rays.
Richard said he's seen it,
In
but
a
he
square.
couldn't speak on it though. I don't know if you guys
I
watched
think
that
it's
video. He
super
said he's
fucking
seen it.
tiny, and I think it's going to really blow everybody's mind how
Yo,
small that
we
console
can
is.
stream 4K 60 and streaming. That joint better have a share button on the controller like PlayStation. I swear to God.
They better do something with Upload Studio.
Oh, so you
Yeah, it can't be no 10 minutes if it's gonna be
Okay.
doing.
So do
Well,
you
I mean,
guys?
the streaming gonna be 4K 60. I think it's dope, but I think they need to look at what PlayStation did with the share button and what Nintendo did with that button. Which don't allow us to take pictures, but that controller needs a share button. Like that thing. is one of
I
the
hate
best
the share button.
That's
Maybe
one of the
it's-
best innovations.
What?
of the year.
Dude, wait.
Let's
I'm
hear
a
Mark. Let's hear
content
Mark.
creator through and through, and I fucking hate the share button. The only time I press that shit is by accident.
Best thing that happened this gen, fam.
Yo, Marco's the first person I actually heard say that. Say that again. What's your reason? What's your reason why you hate this shit?
No, I just don't find it like, dude, sharing
The share
stuff
button
is a
is your
software
friend.
thing. Why do I need a hardware physical button to do it?
No,
Know what I
but
mean? Like, why would I want a button on my laptop to open up Word when I can just open up Word using Windows? That's
No,
how I.
but
I mean, it makes it easy.
Marco, you have a PlayStation though, right? You have a PlayStation.
Yeah, I have a
right?
PlayStation. of
I'm
course.
sure you're active on Twitter, so don't you find it convenient when you're playing a game, you hit the button with like 2 presses, then it uploads your screenshot to Twitter. You don't find that like kind of dope?
It's cool, man. But the thing is, why do I need a button on my controller that's specifically for that? If I can just use the PlayStation button and then it'll bring up my menu and then I can just press triangle to share it.
Well, I mean,
why do I need the button?
No, but if you push the PlayStation button, if you're trying to record video, it's gonna delete the video. That's the thing.
No, but I think it's convenient. Like from what I've been using with the Switch and the PS4, I can't lie. I think it's actually pretty damn convenient. I mean,
yeah, it's cool. I just don't see how the button is any different from pressing two buttons, but just a different set of buttons. I don't know why I need a
dedicated button for it, right?
I think that's basically just to like gravitate towards the idea of making
for sure.
it, sharing for the market and things like that.
No, I get that.
I could see that, but like, we're all about ergonomics and like making things easier to do. So I can see why a share button would be easier. I'm more pissed that start and select is gone because I'm an old fucking man. I'm 34 and I remember press start to play, not press fucking 3 lines.
You gotta press options, man.
Options too. What's it called? I wanna hit up on something that I wanna talk about Xbox Play Anywhere. Damage into Xbox Scorpio. What do you guys think?
I think it's part of their long-term plan. So yeah,
it's part of the ecosystem.
Long-term.
Yeah. So do you guys feel like?
Well, I think there are going to be some people who aren't going to pick up the Scorpio because they can.
Play you know what I'm saying? Like, because
on the PC.
Because like someone like me right now, look, when I look at the Scorpio, I see it's cool, But then again, I look at my rig, I'm like, if every game is going to be available, through Xbox Play Anywhere, it's going to be available on the Windows 10 store. Like, honestly, if I'm buying a Scorpio, what am I going to use it for, really? You know what I'm trying to say? For someone like me, this only really affects people like me, J-Main, and maybe Alex. You know what I'm saying? I have like PC builds like this, like.
Yeah, I was telling
basically.
You. Well, some people treat Play Anywhere like portability.
What do you say, Kid Smooth?
Some people treat Play Anywhere like portability.
Oh, you're saying like no matter where they go, like they could have their Xbox on the road and then their PC at home.
Like what? Like run it, like playing on the laptop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that. So yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point.
There's been times I've been like kicked off the Xbox and I just went to my computer if I was playing a Play Anywhere title. So
at the end of the day, I don't think it hurts it because I mean. Like for you, Kofi, let's say you don't buy Scorpio, right? But you buy the games on Windows.
Yeah, definitely.
Microsoft's still getting bread, so they don't care whether you buy the hardware or not.
I think you were saying though, like hurt the sales of Scorpio is what you were.
Well, not really.
Not really the sales,
but like it goes back to them saying they still expect the One S to be the main selling console. So I think Microsoft's end goal is to make sure they are pushing for console and the PC gamers, not separately, but as one. So Phil can call right now. Kofi say, Phil, I'm not buying no fucking Scorpio. Phil be like, cool, but you gonna buy this hot new Xbox game on Windows Store, right?
Yeah.
Like, yep. And he's like, cool, I don't care if you buy it or not.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it just gives gamers more options, and that's never really a bad thing.
Right? You said play. Your question was pertaining to Play Anywhere and hurting Scorpio. I was like, well, if that's the case, then technically all the games being available on Xbox One can hurt Scorpio too. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, because Scorpio doesn't get any exclusive. Like,
I'm just talking about as a PC gamer, the demographic. Basically, they would feel like they won't need this console, you know what I'm saying? Right. Which is cool. Yeah, Fame brings up a point. That's what I used to think too. That's what I think. That Microsoft really doesn't care if you buy a Scorpio or not. If you have a PC, if you got a PC, got Windows 10, you're buying their games on the Windows 10 store. I'm pretty sure that's what they want.
So they're still banking on people being console gamers. Believe it or not, some people won't. I know you guys are smart. You guys know. Some people believe that if you have a PS4, just go buy a PC. But not everybody wants to be a PC gamer or go through the motions of building a PC. So Microsoft is banking on if you have a PS4, you want to play this Xbox game, you're going to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, because it's an easy solution, right?
Exactly.
It's an easy solution. You walk in the store, buy it, game right out the box. People are like that. You know what I'm saying?
If Red Dead don't come to PC, I might. See, that's the narrative right there. Is that if you want the better multiplats now and you got a 4K TV and you want to take advantage of it, it now becomes
Well, you're gonna need an Xbox. You're gonna need a Microsoft system.
Yeah, I understand, but like the big question is like, how many people is this gonna affect? You know what I'm saying? Are people
it's not gonna affect a lot
Are people gonna really make the jump? Like as a PlayStation.
Well,
gamer,
I'm already there. So again,
so someone who already has a Pro, you know, are they gonna now see the Scorpio plays, you know, Mass Effect maybe at a better frame or a higher resolution?
I have an answer for that.
Drive them to buy the Scorpio. Do you feel that?
How many people jump from PlayStation? How many people jump from the 360 to the PS4 just because the PS4 had more power?
Wait. I don't think that was the
that really.
Wait a minute.
I think it was.
When the consoles first launched, let's look at the launch lineup. Xbox had them beat on the launch lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
PS4 selling point was the power, and the
Xbox is that's what fucked up Xbox.
Fame. What I look out the gate. Why Xbox? I don't think it was the power is the issue. I think the policies was the
the policies was
they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they shot themselves.
But they fixed those policies. The damage was done. Yeah, the damage was done, but they never got the message out. And then they still. But then after everybody, because we knew, right? We knew the policies were fixed, and we understood that, right? Moving forward, though, there are people like us that still chose to go to the PS4 because and it's not a perceived notion. The notion was correct that it did perform better with multi-plats. And so the case now may reverse itself. I'm not saying it's going to.
Yeah, but because a lot of people blame the power difference between or they use the power difference to say that's why the PlayStation is leading the generation. I don't believe so. I believe it's a combination that Microsoft really fucked up at the beginning of
if we could take
and their console was $100 more.
Didn't Uncle Steve say 1080p made you a better gamer?
Yeah, but that's but how many castles have really
they pushed that power narrative a lot. I mean, to even say that 1080p made you a better gamer, they pushed. So I don't like people saying, well, power wasn't an issue. Power was huge, but for them to even say that 1080p made that much of a difference, for them to constantly put up stuff on Twitter about, I'm gonna put up a graphic show you how much 1080p is better. That 1080p was huge for some. I know Microsoft shot themselves in the foot. But that 1080p was big.
It was big. It was big for the console. It was good. It was big for in the console wars realm.
Yes, exactly. And Digital Foundry made it big from 2014 and on with every freaking game. This is going to run at 1080p on this system and then 900p on this. Like IGN, GameStop, all of them, they push that narrative.
So you guys believe that's why.
It's part of the reason.
I don't think it's part of it. So that's not the sole reason. I think the biggest reason was in fact the DRM. I think that was the largest reason.
I think the reveal was the number one killer of the system.
Oh yeah, we're not denying that. Yeah, exactly. What we're saying is that power was a big portion of it as well. We're not saying you're wrong. We're saying that power was huge because they harped on it consistently. They took anything that Microsoft did negatively and Sony's smart business move. They capitalized on it when they did the whole thing where this is how we share games. They capitalized on that. And then when Microsoft wasn't hitting 1080p, they capitalized that and pushed it as hard as they could because remember, 1080p makes you a better gamer, guys.
But you know what? Okay, but Fame, listen to this. If you were Microsoft and you had that, and the tables were turned, would you not say the same thing about your console?
That's what I said. That's why I said they took advantage of it, which is a brilliant business move.
That's a brilliant marketing move. It's totally right. So I mean, I think saying like 1080p makes you a better gamer, sure, but like anyone in those shoes would have taken that side.
Like Sony's smart, they capitalize on the situation, which is that's big up to them. That's what they're supposed to do, right? That's what they're supposed to do, bro.
My view of it was that you used to be able to win a console generation with one killer app, and the original Xbox survived off of Halo. A lot of the 360 survived off of Halo 3 and the hype behind that. Nowadays, people don't buy consoles for one game. They buy a console to play with their friends. They buy a console to keep up with the latest and greatest. And the PlayStation was the best place to play third-party games.
All right, good thing that you bring that up. So now it leads me to another question. Do you guys feel that exclusives matter? Fame, Hit it.
They
Stop it
always
real quick.
have. They always have, and they always will.
Okay, yo,
Exactly.
Alex, real quick. Do exclusives matter now in
Do
2017?
exclusives matter in 2017? How about this? How about I hate exclusives?
Oh,
They
just a PC gamer in you.
Yeah, but it's not just that. But like, there could be a whole video I make about exclusives. But I do think personally that the kind of games you bring that you cannot get anywhere else do really impact the type of system that you sell. So when you're looking at something like, do exclusives matter? Yes, they do, but to a point. And it is, are these games better than what I could be playing somewhere else with a different set of hardware? And I think that's really what makes the difference. When you look at games like Bloodborne, for example, that I still have yet to play, but I'm a huge Souls fan, I'm going to buy a PS4 Pro for Bloodborne and for Neo because those are games I need to play. So yes, they matter to a point, but I don't think they matter wholeheartedly.
Yeah, J-Man, what do you think? Because a lot of people don't think exclusives matter in 2017. So what do you think?
I think they absolutely matter. Like Alex, that was Alex, right? I'm not even looking at
Yep, that was me. Yeah.
Yeah, Alex was saying that you're going to offer people things that you can't find on other systems. Now, how many people are going to look to find those things? You know, not many. But, you know, when you have as we were just talking, the market, you know, you're the market leader and you got all the multiplats and the strongest things and people are playing on your platform. And then you show them, look, we also got this over here. That's going to keep them there. And then they're going to tell their friends about that. And then that's going to travel around. So exclusives, while they're not the main reason, they have a place and, you know, they definitely matter.
So it, like, for me, it's just such a market thing, because when you look at things like virtual reality, so if you see the stuff that happens between the Vive and the Oculus, and how Oculus wants you to have exclusives for that specific headset, that's
For a reason, because it drives sales.
For a reason, because it drives sales, right? But then the thing is, you have a stagnant virtual reality market, right? So then no one is making money because you're segmenting the market. The question is the gaming market large enough to handle things such as exclusives or timed exclusives? And I could get into this for forever, so I don't want to get into it forever. But
video, bro.
Not even do a video.
What do you think?
Yo, exclusives matter, but definitely not as much as they used to. Like, I will stand by the fact that Halo is the only reason Xbox is still even making consoles.
Whoa.
Dude, the OG Xbox literally depended on Halo 2, and the hype for Halo 3 was what fueled 360 sales.
That's true.
Yeah,
they do matter, but not as much as they once did. I think Sony owes a lot of its success to being the best place to play third-party games, and I think success ultimately comes down to a fine balance of being the best place to play third-party games, there being reasons and incentives to playing third-party games on your console. And I hate that side of the business, but it's an unfortunate reality we live in, where you do need console exclusive bullshit, Destiny 2 weapon packs and all that crap for every other game to be exclusive on one console or another. And so third party, first party, and those little third party exclusives, it's a fine balance of all of those, but they all definitely matter.
I think with Maka's point, I agree, but I'm gonna have to say I fucking hate timed exclusives, and I think that's bullshit.
Oh, I hate them, but they work.
They work. That's why people they still doing it, because they work.
It didn't work for Tomb Raider.
Sam, what do you think? Exclusive matter in 2017?
I'm just echoing what pretty much everybody else has said. They matter, but they don't matter like they used to. It's not a defining feature anymore. It's an important component of the whole. Anymore, I think it's far more about market appeal and where your friends are playing and how you can entice, lots of people to get onto your platform at launch and get that momentum, keep that momentum going, rather. I think that's the most important thing. But obviously, exclusive games still matter, for sure. They're still an important component.
Yeah, I think it matters for the longevity of your system, though.
I just feel like from a business standpoint, from a developer business standpoint, unless you're a direct subsidiary first party, it's such a fucking crapshoot, because you're kneecapping yourself to be an exclusive by not being able to sell on so many other platforms and make all that extra money.
When the game is something that's not going to sell on a platform, like, let's look at JRPGs. JRPGs ain't going to really perform well on a Microsoft platform, right?
Persona 5
wouldn't. I don't think it would push. Yeah, it's exclusive to PlayStation. But what would entice, when you look at the history lately of JRPGs on Xbox, what would entice the developer of Persona 5 to put it on Xbox?
I mean, I think that's honestly, I think that's why the Scorpio is so important, because what they're doing is integrating that Windows 10 platform into the Scorpio. So what you can say to a developer is, look, you may have the Scorpio, audience, but you also have a large PC audience too that could really jump into this stuff. And the PC loves JRPGs. I mean, look at the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, but right now that's not there. I'm talking currently.
I think, Joey, part of the whole thing with the JRPGs is something you spoke on earlier with the 360 gamers jumping to PS4, because JRPGs were on the 360 and people played them.
In the early beginning, you're 100%.
I think part of that goes to a lot of the 360 gamers on PS4 now, and they're the ones buying the JRPGs, unlike the Xbox One owners. But JRPGs were a thing on the 360, and I think all it takes is a stronger push to get people to play them again. I hope, but I think that's part of the reason is a lot of those JRPG gamers on 360 are on PS4 now.
I mean, I think it's a complete shame that a game like Lost Odyssey is stuck to the 360, and I can't play it anywhere else. And I would love to play it
on Xbox One.
Yeah. Kid Smooth, how do you feel about exclusives? I think you don't think they're important. I recall. Okay.
Uncharted 2. The exclusives real quick. Okay. Uncharted 2 is proof that exclusives really do matter, because that game single-handedly pushed the PS3 forward.
Yep.
Because the PS3 was not doing good. And I remember when they started running the Uncharted 2 commercials, because I bought a P3 at launch, and I got rid of it right after I finished with Grand Theft Auto 4. And then when I started seeing the Uncharted 2 commercials, I was like, I need this back in my life.
That game also exposed the industry.
The PS3 is a good example of how things can change. True. If the game was
great example.
Nobody wanted it. It was overpriced. It was fat. It was ugly. Just like the Xbox One. Xbox One was overpriced. It was fat and it was ugly.
But didn't they say to get like a second job to afford the console?
Yes. Yeah, my man came out and said get a second job when they was
unbelievable.
This is proof that things can change.
Well, Matrix told you to go where the internet was.
Yo, Jack. So what are you saying with the exclusive, man? They matter?
Absolutely, man. I mean, look at the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch got 2 million units sold right now with one game. So they absolutely matter, bro. Absolutely.
There you go.
And Mario Kart coming, boy.
Woo! Yeah, that's definitely a good example. Like, okay, I want to quickly talk about Microsoft's lineup, 2017 lineup. Fame, what do you think of Microsoft's 2017 lineup? Games that are coming from them, their third-party exclusives, their first-party exclusives. What do you think overall right now?
Honestly, talk about that before E3.
Honestly, I'm banking. Well, you brought up a point. I'm banking on E3 because I mean, as of right now, that's not a lot. I will say from people that that I know playing Sea of Thieves, which I've been trying to get in that alpha. Everybody playing that game is having fun with that game. Forget about the people who was faking being happy at E3 last year. I know legit friends who are in that game and they are enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to that. State of Decay 2 is, I'm hoping it's everything I want it to be, because the only thing the first State of Decay was missing was multiplayer. And I think this having multiplayer and you can turn against people and also, I think that's a great move. Cuphead, definitely looking forward to that. I think there are some really good games coming for the Xbox. I don't want people to sleep saying Xbox got no games coming. There are some very quality games that are coming. But at the same time, I think Microsoft is going I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer made a point on Podcast Unlocked that said they feel like they made a mistake by announcing games too early, like a Scalebound, trying to push it too early, and they made a mistake because it ended up getting canceled. I think Microsoft are playing things close to the vest, and I think they're going to show a lot of new games at E3. But as far as what we know about, it's okay, not great, not super bad, but there are some games on the Xbox One coming that I'm extremely looking forward to, like I said, like State of Decay 2, like Cuphead, like Sea of Thieves.
Can I talk about something right quick?
Go ahead, Smooth.
Here's the thing what I don't understand, right? Is that everybody says they need something other than Gears, Forza, Halo. And it's like, okay, well, when they don't drop like a Gears or a Halo in a year, they'd be like, well, what they got? And I'm like, well, give them the shit that isn't Gears or Halo a chance. Like there's no Gears, no Halo this year, and everybody's like, oh, but they don't have nothing. They don't have like a
Megaton or anything like that. But like we don't know that yet. So State of Decay 2 could be that. Crackdown 3 could be that.
But hold on. Did Kids Move actually make a valid point just now?
I don't know.
I'm trying to find the connection. I'm trying to find the connection.
Do I feel like is the world gonna fucking implode on itself that Kids Move made a valid fucking point?
That is a valid point, but you also
I need more Black
at,
Label. This is crazy.
You also got to look at the history of those franchises. I know City of Thieves is new, so it needs to prove itself. But Crackdown has never been something that's a megaton. So you can't expect people to be like, "Oh shit, Crackdown 3, next Last of Us."
But Crackdown isn't like one of those biannual games that we got every so often. So it's like it has, like
it could be good, but also could be very mediocre, bro.
Right. But that's the thing. That's how Xbox games that aren't Halo and Gears are treated. It's like, oh, well, all they got is this. And then when they do announce something that's not that and they'll show it, it's like, well, it could be trash. You know what I mean? Same thing said with Sunset Overdrive and all the other
best games.
Sunset Overdrive was amazing.
From Sunset Overdrive, from the rip, I thought that was like dope.
That game was great.
That's my favorite.
Man. When I look at Microsoft's new IP, I don't know about you guys. When I look at the new IP, I feel like there's nothing that's really hit home yet. Marco,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough to
be honest. Like looking at all the new IP that they've dropped this generation, nothing has really hit home. Am I wrong for feeling that way?
I think that's why E3 is so important this year.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, Recore,
E3 needs to be
Quantum Break. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing like super strong or compelling. Like,
but that's exactly why I think. So here's what I think. So Digital Foundry did the specs reveal. That was a great idea because that gave up, like Fame said, that opened up time for more games for E3. If Microsoft and Phil don't come out swinging for the fences, then we're going to have a very big problem with the Scorpio and the Xbox brand itself. And I think, hopefully, personally, and from a business standpoint, the more competition there is, the more people succeed, and the more companies make better games, and the more we succeed as gamers because we get better games.
Right.
So if Microsoft doesn't come out swinging for the fences, it's going to be a disaster because honestly, I can compare it to the exact same way I felt about when Doom was coming out. Because when people were like, we're gonna redo Doom for current gen, I was like, this is gonna be fucking trash. Like this is gonna be the worst fucking game I ever played. And then it turned out to be my game of the year last year.
So I think even the biggest Sony fanboy should be smart enough to know that they should be rooting for Microsoft because you don't want companies that get complacent, and competition is a win for us.
Yes,
people still indebted to the console and realize if Microsoft does great, it bodes well for if you primarily play on Sony because Sony goes like, oh shit, I can't be complacent. Let me go out and put out some more bang.
And Fame, I think I was saying to Kofi the other day when we were on the Solid Rev podcast. We were talking about how competition is best for the gamer regardless of what console you're on. And a console war is always a good thing. Now, it's a good thing if, like, let's say the 8 of us are in a chat room and we just call each other fucking bitches and shit and we just fuck around, and that's fine. But if you take it too seriously to the point, then that's a little bit excessive. But when you have a console war where you have companies fighting for your dollar, the only person that wins is you, the gamer. Right. And I think that's what people need to really understand is that regardless of what platform you're on, as long as they're fighting for your dollar, you're winning.
Anyone who wants the Xbox to fail is not a gamer. It can't be respected, honestly.
Can I jump in on this?
If you're too far on either side of the fanboy thing, like, you're wrong. No matter if you're on one camp or the other, if you're all the way at the edge, you're fucking wrong.
Just being a fanboy in general, I think. I mean, it's okay to have a preference, but I think when you start to get myopic and narrow-minded and just don't pay attention to rational things that are right in front of you.
Yeah,
that's the M-word day, Joey. Machinations and myopic. What's going on?
Well, I always myopic. I've been using since.
Let me get the dictionary.
It's an M-word day.
As far as IP goes, I want to know what I haven't seen yet or heard about yet. I want something to come out of nowhere and go, okay, because I kind of want a reason. Here's my. If you give me a second, I want a reason to get the Scorpio. If I'm gonna have the same exact IP on everything, you need to. I feel like, and I know it's not going to, but I feel like they almost need something that could be Scorpio exclusive, or primarily take advantage of so many more features on the Scorpio to segregate it just a little bit from the One or the S, to give an incentive or a push to go out there and go get it. And as far as the IP go, I already know State of Decay and Crackdown, and we already got those. I want to know what they have to. I hope they have something like, he just gonna pull something out of his back pocket and go, here you go.
Yo, Joey, I'm glad he said that, because I've been campaigning about this for a while. I've said this point before. When Xbox dropped, we got Halo. That shook up the industry. When the 360 dropped, we got Gears of War. Yo, what we get when the Xbox One dropped? You know what I'm saying? Microsoft has failed to deliver like that one super compelling IP this generation. You know what I'm saying? That defines there to blow up and turn into a big franchise. We're 3 years going into 4 years into this generation now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's Microsoft's biggest problem right now. Like, they haven't delivered like that one must-have crazy critically acclaimed game. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's why I made a video. And
there's been a lot of like good games. Killer Instinct is a good game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Quantum Break's a decent game. Ain't bad. Yeah, Forza Horizon 3 is honestly the best game they've put out this generation.
Yes,
it really is.
100.
And it's a racing game, but it's definitely the best game Microsoft has put out this generation.
As a complete package,
it beats out Halo 5, beats out Gears 4. Forza Horizon 3 is definitely. But Microsoft needs something. Like, they need something new, a new IP on that kind of status. That's why I feel like that's what the console's missing right now.
I got the feel on a live stream.
What you say, Maka?
It's safe to say that Sea of Thieves isn't going to be that game too.
That's safe to say.
State of Decay 2, it's going to be a fine game, and Forza Motorsport 7 is safe, but that's not enough. And you know what? Like, I have good reasons to think that they have very big things that they are confident about that have yet to be announced.
Yeah, now, I agree.
We'll see these things, but they're State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, Cuphead, and Forza Motorsport 7, I guarantee you, are not the only things that are coming out. There will be more.
I'm honestly
and I
really
think
excited for it. Go ahead, Sam.
And I think building on top of that, Maka, the fact that they were willing to show off the specs, again, I'll hound this point beforehand, and they're not talking about that E3 is a dead giveaway. Because even if you add up all the games they have announced right now, that doesn't take up an entire press conference. Even if you throw in some, some other stuff, they have some stuff that they're going to be dropping.
Yeah, we know that they must have new games coming. You know what I'm saying? Probably not releasing this year, to be honest. Like, if we're like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I think this year's release is solidified. Maybe the surprise will be Forza 7. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll get something new. But I think as of 2017's lineup is kind of solidified as of now. Or if Fame, you disagree with me, you think they got something?
No, I'm saying what they need is, like we talked about, they need a Horizon Zero Dawn. I got killed for saying this in the live stream. Because to me, Horizon Zero Dawn, number one, is the best new IP this gen. Anybody disagree? I'm sorry. It's the best new IP this gen. Number two, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn will be to the PS4 to what Uncharted was to the PS3. And like you said, Kofi, that's what Microsoft is. They had Halo. Halo for the first one, Gears for 360. They don't have a face for Xbox, and PlayStation already has a new face. Since they killed off Uncharted, they have a new face, I believe, in Horizon, which is the best new IP this generation.
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's been a while that Microsoft really dropped a game that shook up the industry. You know what I'm trying to say? That was like, yo, their game. You know what I'm saying? The last one was Gears of War.
Run now. I'm sorry.
All right, yo.
I'm sorry. I gotta go. But
no, it was a
thank
pleasure,
you for having me on again. That was awesome. It was good to meet all of you.
Yes.
Take care.
Sam, I had you on Twitter, man.
Take care.
Yeah, so like I was saying, like that's what Microsoft has failed to deliver this generation. And Kid Smooth, do you feel differently? Because I know you're the best bot. Do you feel differently?
Do I feel differently?
Differently. All right, of course you do. All right, so yo,
I'm not gonna say. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna say Xbox has like a brand new. The Xbox One has a face. Like, what game has their face? But the thing is, here's the thing. How I look at it, PlayStation, Nintendo. You know what I mean? They all had. They got their faces. They grew. They're older. They're the oldest. Pretty much Xbox is the youngest, and out of the whole the console race, they're the youngest. You know what I mean? So they got lucky. They got lucky with Halo when they first dropped the Xbox. Without Halo, what is Xbox? You know. Then 360 came along. You know, they got lucky with Epic with Gears of War. They were able to start those two cornerstone franchises. I mean, they had something going with Fable, but fucking was it Lionhead? What's that dude that Peter Molyneux started acting up with his fucking receding hairline ass. He they started acting up with that franchise. So hopefully that comes back. So here's the thing is, I'm not gonna sit there and like I haven't been grabbed this generation by games on Xbox, and I feel like I played a lot of games on Xbox, and a lot of exclusive that I spent time with this generation I've thoroughly enjoyed, and people can see on my whether it be my achievements or my hours, every game that was, since we got to be careful how we use the word exclusive, every Xbox,
we know what you mean, yo. We know
base game, you can see the hours, the achievements, and what I did in it versus pretty much any other game. So I've like, if I don't like a game, I'm not going to play it. And I think one Xbox exclusive. Now I got hours in Record. I just didn't beat it, right? But I got more time in Record than I did in like Halo Wars 2. And I'm not an RTS fan at all. I'm not a Halo Wars 2 fan. So it's like
it's an RTS on consoles. So
I'm not.
I wouldn't expect.
You know what I mean?
So I got a question for you, Smooth. Do you feel like Microsoft has dropped a game this generation of the level of Gears?
The level of Gears?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they dropped Gears 4. They ain't
like
that's a good answer.
That was not on the level of Gears,
but,
my man.
But you know what I'm trying to say, as in like a new franchise.
No, they didn't. But I don't feel like now if that's what's required, if that's what's required, then so be it. But the thing is that I felt like the games that they dropped, and I feel like the games that are highly
so you're happy with the new IP, like the quality of the new IP that has dropped, like you're happy with it, like real talk, you're happy with it.
I'm happy with them as long as but the thing is about new IPs, right? If you're happy with a new IP, you generally want a sequel, you want more, you know, just like we wanted more Halo, like we wanted more Gears until we get sick of them, you know? And that's, I want another Sunset, I want another Rise, I want another Quantum Break. You know what I mean? I want them to make as many Forza Horizons as possible. But people, you know, they'll like something for a little bit and then they don't like it for it and they're like, all right, this is old now. And like I said, Microsoft is not Microsoft, but Xbox is the youngest brand in the gaming industry. They're younger than freaking Nintendo, younger than PlayStation, and I think they technically they're younger than Sega, even though Sega don't make consoles anymore.
I don't know. Have you heard of the Ouya?
Hey, Ouya's dope, man.
Maka, what are you doing? What are you doing?
The Ouya is still
the Ouya's that was that do Steam games? Or was it
that was
it's like a cell phone box.
Yeah, it was like it was basically a mobile phone in a box.
Oh damn.
I'm gonna trigger everyone in chat and say the good thing about the Ouya is it didn't have a share button on its.
So Maka, the best thing about the Ouya was that I used it as an. I was thinking about having it as an emulator, but then I was like, I'll pay $50 for a Steam link, and I was done.
Yeah. So, I'm not gonna say that the Xbox One doesn't need a new face. It may get one, it may not get one. As long as their franchises, they push them and allow them to grow and evolve, which I felt like they did. But people, it's weird, you know. People said we don't like Halo 5, but then complained that Halo 5 changed too much. And I'm like, what? If it remained the same, it would have been stagnant. Like,
me personally, I don't even think that was Halo 5's problem. I don't even think that was his problem. Not really the gameplay change.
The problem is that story they lied to.
I think that whole campaign and how they marketed it, like it really was something totally different. It wasn't popping like the other Halo games, you know.
Rehashed boss after rehashed boss, like
Halo 5 had more problems than just story.
The gameplay was there. The gameplay was there though. Like the game was fun to play.
Wait, other than the story, what was the problem?
They lied.
Everything.
They looked it up as
No.
They said a bunch of stuff like
You said other than the story, what was the problem?
I just said the game development was lazy. Like they used the same boss over and over.
And the microtransactions too was a big turn off for
not having big team battle in multiplayer mode was another.
Yeah, there's a lot of
co-op, no freaking co-op.
Having to unlock weapons via card packs, you could only use them once at a fucking match. You couldn't have them all the time.
Yeah, but at least that was in a separate game mode.
Like there was a bunch of stuff that made Halo. So to me, Halo was basically an arena FPS on the PC put on the console in a very good way. And the second they started putting a lot of like weapon packs and card packs into that game, and they started use items that really just want other stuff.
Yeah, but Arena had nothing to do with any of that. And Arena in Halo 5 is where it's at. That's where people are still playing.
True, but that's also where it was in Halo 3 and 4.
Yo, Jack, move you good, bro. This is way too much Xbox time.
Hey, man, listen. This y'all day, man. This y'all day, man.
Way blue towel.
Yeah, I appreciate you sitting here, yo.
Hey, man, this y'all day, man. Have fun.
Way too much Xbox talk for you.
Jack was waiting for
taking donations to buy his Scorpio.
Hey, man.
E3 happens, Sony drops a fucking bomb, and Jack was gonna come in here fucking doing the Dougie.
I'm high stepping. You already know.
All you gotta do is real quick, just flash a Yoshida picture on the screen for that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh yeah. I need.
Bring him back to life.
Hey man, that Crash Bandicoot series coming out now. You'd be good with that, right?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
even Microsoft's choices with their remasters and like got me scratching my head and shit. Like, but we'll see. I'm gonna take Kid Spoon's advice. We're gonna just wait till E3, right? Because they're gonna kill it.
We got no choice.
They got.
Honestly, I would love for them to kill it at E3. That's what they need to do.
But I feel like they took off the pressure. Like with this review, I feel like they took off the pressure off them. Now that they got at least the specs out the way, now people see that it's actually like it's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, they have to. Now they're gonna come out, announce the price of the Scorpio. I feel like they're gonna do it real quick. I don't think they're gonna really go into detail too much like how Sony did with the PS4 Pro.
I think it's gonna be at the very end, like they always do. They're gonna get like, and it's $499, and then
I actually think it's gonna be in the beginning, like how they revealed the Slim. You know what? I have a feeling. I have a feeling that the Scorpio's box is gonna get leaked again. You know how the Slim got leaked? I have a feeling that.
Kofi, can I ask you a question? Kofi, me, you talking double XP, and we talked about how when Microsoft said they moved their E3 to Sunday, we'd all figured because it's so they could control the narrative on the Xbox Scorpio a whole 24 hours. Now the Xbox Scorpio, we know what it is. What do you think their main reason for moving to Sunday now is? Because we all thought they could control the Scorpio narrative.
Because we thought that they're gonna actually do all of this on Sunday and reveal it and talk about it. So
wait, hold on. They have an event on Sunday.
No, the conference was moved to Sunday.
It was just moved. Yeah, it's not like
here's what I think. Honestly,
they just want a whole day to themselves.
Yeah.
If I was Phil, and think about this, you have this is the first time you have a public E3. You have an Xbox Scorpio.
Conferences aren't public, and E3 doesn't start till the Tuesday.
Well, we're going to be public this year.
No, not the conferences.
Not the conferences. Not
the show
floor. What a fucking shame. Why the fuck would you even go then if you're not going to go to the conference?
You still play them games though.
Because you can stay in an hour, 2-hour lines to play.
Yeah, you can wait an 4-hour line like to watch Sunday, a Mafia you show it off. You talk about it. Tuesday, you fucking show them all the games and you say, "Go play that shit." Like that's what I would think. But I guess you can't go to the conference, so fuck that. It's a waste of my time.
Well, if you're pressed, you can go.
That's a fucking remark. I want shit all over my fucking idea. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, dude. They get people in from like FanFest and shit. Like there are ways to get in.
What a horrible thought that you can't go to the conference on E3 as a public person. That's terrible.
None of them are open, dude.
Literally, we have to email.
None of them are open.
Honestly, if I was going to E3, that'd be the one thing I'd look forward to because
that's why probably they're not open.
So low key, just stay home watching, be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna try to be one of the loudest screamers there.
Oh god.
Are you actually going?
You can't top BG with that. Oh my god!
So wait, hold on. Wait a second. Kid Smurf is going to E3?
Yeah.
So you got a press
Shut
pass?
the fuck up. Hold on.
Hold
wait,
on a
kids.
second.
Wait,
Kids
shut
Move,
the.
you
Hold
got a
on.
press-
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait a
hold
minute.
on,
You
hold
got a
on.
press pass, Kids Move?
Kids Move is going to the EP press
Okay,
conference.
so hold on. So you got a press pass.
Yes.
So wouldn't that make you a journalist?
Hey,
Exactly.
no, actually,
Exactly.
because I did. Hold on.
I'm gonna go swallow my gun.
I'm
This
done.
fucking Kids Move gets to go to a fucking
I'm
E3.
done.
Game, set, match.
God damn it.
Hey, Smooth, don't try to run up on that stage, Smooth. That's all I'm saying.
This one
Yo.
was like it was my heart.
yeah. Definitely.
There is no fucking God anymore that Kids Move gets to go to a press conference. People like me don't.
Yeah, but the boy does know how to network, and he is a likable young man. So you know, you see how
I
that.
mean, you could really push the term likable, Joey. It's fine, but I don't.
He is. You feel bad for thinking he's stupid half the time. He's a likable young man. I'm not lying.
He a lovable loser is what you're saying.
Oh my God.
Anyways, and bad news bears.
Yeah, I fucks with it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we basically covered everything I want to talk about the Xbox Scorpio. So before we hop off out here, I just want to talk about PlayStation and its conference. What do you guys expect from PlayStation's E3? Jack,
let me go real quick because I didn't talk about what PlayStation should do moving forward when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
But look, if you're Sony right now, just prolong the generation as long you're winning. You're fucking slaughtering them. Just prolong the generation. Convince people that if you want to play on PS4, it's okay. Like, the upgrades don't matter, guys. Just play our games. Chill out. You'll wait a bit. Next year we'll announce something cool for you guys. But for now, just chill. Keep playing our games on our console. We're winning. That's all they got to do. Cruise control for a year. And this E3, I expect them to maybe go a little bit quieter with hardware and go real loud with software. Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption, Battlefront, and Call of Duty center stage. The 4 biggest games of the year. They're gonna have marketing deals with those guys. Just go big with games, cruise control your way until the next generation, and regroup from PlayStation 5.
Yeah. So Jack, so what do you expect from PlayStation's E3 conference this year?
More greatness. You know how it go. I do expect them to announce God of War for March of 2018. A lot of people think that's coming out this year, man. I don't see it though. Just like I said, man, a couple of new game announcements. I expect to see more footage of games we'd heard about. Hopefully they got some Last of Us 2 footage. If not, I'll be disappointed by that.
Do you think there's gonna be a lot of repeats though? Like a lot of things that we just got like maybe cinematic trailers of, and they're gonna actually just show gameplay this time around?
Yeah. I think they need to show gameplay of some more game of all the games they've shown. Spider-Man ain't got no gameplay.
I think Days Gone need an update too as well.
Absolutely. I think Days Gone might come out this year too.
What's that zombie game, Jack, that they were showing last year?
Yeah, that's Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah. That should be like gameplay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And did you guys hear? I think I seen a tweet that Sucker Punch got some new to show at E3 as well.
Oh yeah, they got a new game coming out. Yeah.
It's been 3 years since they dropped the game?
Yeah.
So
that's what they're working on.
That should be pretty exciting. And it's been a while since Infamous came out, so that could come out 2018 too.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's a possibility that game could come out 2018. So, I guess
stuff may get pushed up because of the fucking Scorpio, though.
I don't think so. A lot of people are saying that, like, because Sony's gonna counter this with a lot of games, but I don't think so. I don't think Spider-Man's coming this year, even though we've seen that tweet by the executive. I really don't think
Polygon got fucking shit on for that goddamn tweet. It was so glorious.
I like whenever Polygon falls on their face, I rather enjoy it.
Because Insomniac came out right after, and we didn't even announce a time frame. And I think it's pretty clear that game's not coming out this year. I don't think so.
They didn't even show gameplay at E3.
Yeah,
I don't expect that game till like late next year.
Yeah, because don't you guys usually notice a pattern with these E3 conferences? Usually it's like 1 year it's a cinematic trailer, then the next year it's a gameplay trailer.
Oh yeah,
the game finally comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Usually that's how it goes most of the time. So
that's what impressed me with God of War, because
I was surprised.
It was
the
like
first
a
time we
15-minute trailer. The first time we saw it, I was like,
the first time we saw it was gameplay. Yeah, that's actually
that's
kind of
how
rare.
it was with Horizon in 2015. It was gameplay. It came out in 2017.
Yeah. Some people think Spider-Man's coming this year. I seen a mess right in the chat, but I don't know. I don't think so. Some people think God of War is coming out this year.
God of War is not coming out this year, bro.
Because of that tweet the guy made that the whole game is playable, but I feel like that's a 2018 title as well.
Sony don't even like dropping their big games in the holiday season no more. Like,
yeah, because why would you do that with Destiny, Call of Duty?
It ain't doing nothing but cannibal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, what do you guys think now? Do you guys think Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out this year now?
Yeah.
Because a lot of you guys a lot of you guys were thinking that was gonna get delayed. I was teamed not getting delayed. So, Jack, where do you fall now, bro? Where do you fall?
I think it's gonna come out this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. You know what I mean? But I do think it's coming out this year.
I think it's coming out this year as well. Anyway,
I'm gonna say next year.
I can only go
this year
on their track record.
What do you guys say? PC release or not?
Yeah, I say PC release.
A year after.
Eventually,
not on launch.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys don't think it's coming day one?
Not at launch.
No way.
No, I think at launch.
All right, so I've been on a podcast. I think I was on Brap actually. Shout out to Brap, and I was talking to someone, Bella, I believe. She believes that PlayStation 5 is coming out sooner than later. What do you guys think?
Oh my
This will be the last topic we hit.
No.
2021 at the earliest.
2021.
2020, in my opinion. It's
2020 or 2021.
Yeah, 2020, 2021. I believe that because look, right now the PlayStation 4 is striving. Like it would be so stupid to come out and be like, "Yeah, we're dropping PlayStation 5 and just kill it." Silly. Right now, the PS4 is on track to beating setting records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why stop that? You know what I'm saying? Like
ride the wave, dog.
I don't think Last of Us 2 coming out till around 2019. To be honest with you, so they got to get that game out and
I think it would be like completely idiotic if Sony were try to drop a PlayStation 5 anytime in 2018, 2019.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's dumb. Right now, focus on games. Right now, they could just ride the wave because I don't know. The Scorpio, I don't think when the Scorpio drops, I don't think it's gonna, really like waver PlayStation, to be honest. I think they have their spot solidified right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's really gonna waver it. It's gonna be a great console for Xbox gamers. It's gonna be a great upgrade for Xbox gamers. But as for throwing Sony off and forcing their hand, I don't think.
Well, I don't want them to get comfortable.
I don't think it's gonna have that impact.
I don't want them to get comfortable.
Yeah.
No, you never want anybody to get comfortable.
Yeah, but the thing, look, honestly, what Microsoft has to do, in my opinion, if they really wanted to shake up the game, Scorpio would have to be like $399, and they would have to have like the craziest lineup. That's the only way I can see them. Like people are like, oh fuck, yo, Microsoft they mean business. You know what I'm saying?
But I think even then, I still don't think that would force Sony's hand. I just think you gotta let that ride.
Yeah. I'm gonna have the pretty unpopular opinion right now.
What do you think, Joe?
And this is what I feel. I feel like all they've been preparing you for is the death of the true next iteration. So I don't think there's going to be a PlayStation 5 per se. I believe what is going to transpire is they're going to take the mobile phone approach and give you increments and so forth and so on. Now, what I can see happening is if Scorpio gets any kind of momentum and so forth and so on, and even if it doesn't, I do believe that with the VR and everything, Sony realizes it needs a stronger platform, especially if he wants to push the VR hand in hand with its console. I can see a scenario in which they announce something next year and release something for 2019 that's going to be exponentially more powerful than what we have in the Pro right now. But it's not going to be a true PlayStation 5. I think the successions of consoles is over.
Oh, but hasn't PlayStation come out? Okay, first of all, you said something about VR. I think at this point, VR is kind of, forgotten.
Dead.
At this point, I think VR is kind of forgotten.
So. I think it sold well. I think that they let it fall. To be honest with you, they didn't, when the hype train was out, they didn't supply enough IP.
Yeah, the software.
And then also, Joey, with VR, there's so many different things that are going wrong with it. Everything between Palmer and Oculus.
What I have, I don't pay attention to the VR on
the PC space. But even on the console space, it's not no buzz around this.
Because it's selling decent though.
Yeah, it's still selling well. And the thing is, Sony. I said this. I was in Wingy's podcast this morning. Shout out to Wingy, and I was saying that they didn't capitalize on the buzz. When it came out, and you know it. You had IP, you had Rigs, you have Evalk, you had all these games. It was cool, but once they let it sit, everything about the VR became a hassle. All of a sudden, hooking it up became a hassle because there was nothing new to look forward to. They started giving you these truncated experiences, and now they're getting ready to release IP again. I'm thinking they're gonna announce some IP at E3, but that's not what my original point was. I think if they're gonna pay attention to the VR, because I don't think they're gonna let the VR go the way of the Vita, right? And I think for VR to be successful, it needs to be a little bit more powerful, and you need to remove
the price tag, bro.
Yeah,
but technology always gets cheaper. Like,
yeah, I feel you, but that price hasn't dropped yet, bro. That price still like $549.
Like,
yo, Maka knows.
Oh yeah, but see, you're in Canada too.
Yo,
I forget that. Like,
I'm on ask Maka some, yo. If you walk, you can walk into a Walmart, EB Games, a Best Buy. Yo, aren't PSVR stacked up to the like real high? Like apparently, like in the States, you can't find them, like according to J-Main and stuff like that. But over here, like no one wants that. No one wants that, bro.
Switch is everywhere. Everyone's like, Switch is sold out. I got one. If you want me to mail it to you, I'll do that. Just pay postage. I'm like,
that $100 more over here.
You know what it is? Casual. Canada's casual. Confirmed.
Hey, JB, disrespect the Canadians, man. What you doing?
Yo, we just ain't just with the price tags over here, man. The price tags is ridiculous. Yo, the VR is $549, I think.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
I wouldn't touch that helmet alone, bro. I think that's just for the helmet alone, fam. Too.
Yeah, because I remember
doesn't make any sense to be honest. And like I, honestly, in Canada, I could not see you spending $800 plus on, let's say, the Vive or the Oculus.
Didn't Kofi do that already?
Yeah, but you know I'm crazy. But how do you see this as like an international success though? Like that's the thing. The prices got to be pretty reasonable, kind of everywhere. You know, like you know what I'm saying?
But they're doing it to you all around though. Every company's doing it to you now, right? It's not just the VR. Don't you pay more for exponentially more for the Switch? Or it's not more because it evens out. Like our price tag.
Yeah, when you do the translation, yeah, like when
yeah.
So it's not like they're actually charging you more, but you're paying more than you used to because of the way that they changed the way that they charge for stuff, right? Is that how that? Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have. I mean, I paid altogether for everything included. I think was around $560, not just $549 for the helmet. That's crazy, yo.
But Joey, that thing's kind of collecting dust right now. Or are you using it?
Well, no, like I said this morning, like in the beginning, it didn't bother me. Oh, it's 3 wires, I got to hook up, but it's a great experience. But once they let the IP dry up, like now to be like, yo, damn, it's 3 fucking wires, I got to hook up. I'm not doing it. But you know, they got IP coming out that I'm looking forward to. Like they got the Star Blood Arena getting ready to drop. They got the Farpoint getting ready to drop. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, that'll get me to put the unit back on. Yeah. But I can see, honestly, to finish up my original point, is I can see a situation where Sony can announce something or the rumblings are going to start coming out and you're going to see something circa 2019. To me, it's a possibility now because as of 2019, the Pro's already going to be 3 years old. Mm-hmm. And when we got these iterations 3 years in, and I believe in track records, like I believe in patterns of behavior. Mm-hmm. And the patterns of behavior now have been set up to prepare us for this. And they're going to figure out a way, the way that Microsoft is doing it now, to push everything forward. And I don't see it going 2021 before, especially if Microsoft is killing it and they start losing these market brands and Xbox once again becomes the better place to pay your Call of Duties and your multiplats, they're not going to sit down.
So that's actually a good point. But this only say like, yo, this is their mid. So you're saying they're gonna drop like a mid PS4?
No, they're gonna there's no more mids. There's no more mid. This is the next iteration.
But didn't Sony come out? They still believe in generations, though.
Yo, you know how many girls? How many girls I promised I wasn't gonna come in their mouth in my lifetime, Kofi?
Sony, what's going on? What the hell?
I guess it could flip flop. Yeah, companies could change.
You know the two greatest lies. One of the greatest lies in this world is the check is in the mail, right? I could tell you anything to make you believe me.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of lips.
One thing before we hop out of here. Parody. Do you think this will be a thing with the
PS4 no parity
and the Project Scorpio? You guys think this will be a thing?
No.
Jack, what do you say? Do you think parity will be a thing? Do you think some developers will be so lazy that the experience are gonna be like exactly the same? You
you talking about that?
Maybe because the Pro is and the PlayStation is the lead platform. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so they definitely going to get accused of that.
So do you think that in some scenarios with these third-party games that parity might be pushed because of like laziness with the developers? Do you think we're gonna see cases of that?
Oh, absolutely. They definitely gonna get accused of they look too similar. It's got to be the PS4 holding back the generation. Like it's gonna happen, bro. Like
that's gonna happen.
Remember hashtag PS4 no parity. That's already going on right now. So it's gonna be a flip-flop.
What about
go ahead,
Maka might know more than I do, but these two systems are basically x86, right?
Well, one is x86 evolved.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I think the only thing that would quote unquote hold anything back or cause a developer issue, I think, would be DirectX 12, because having it baked into the Xbox Scorpio would be easier, quote unquote, for developers that are doing something on PC to put on the Scorpio than it would be on the PlayStation. So I think that's the only thing in my mind right now that I'm thinking of after half a bottle of Black Label would be the problem that would cause
the liquor store.
Yeah, let me go to the liquor store. It would be that something that would be causing an issue would be whether or not they're going to do OpenGL or DirectX 12 or something like that with that architecture. But I'd love to see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, man. All right, yo, Maka, you want to get in the last word before we hop out?
Nah, man. I think I'm good. You guys talk a lot of sense. We got a lot of separate, differing opinions. No one's right, no one's wrong. I think all the bases are covered.
Maka is the fucking hammer in here. If you see something wrong, he's gonna fucking lay it down.
Real quick, I'm gonna have to disclaimer. Fame just retweeted. PSVR sales have been described as slower than expected. So apparently, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Man.
So moving forward, strike everything I said from the record.
All right, yo, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. It's been a great conversation. I told you this episode is gonna be super lit. Everyone here, is on point today. Even Kid Smooth. Shout out to my dude. Yo. All right, yo, Fame, want to go ahead and do your outro?
Yo, yeah, man. Make sure you guys check out our website, ticgn.com, man. Lots of great stuff going on there, man. A lot of original content. You guys know we got a bunch of podcasts. We got an Xbox podcast, a PlayStation podcast, and then my podcast, which is a debate podcast, which is why I came in here with a flamethrower, because I'm just used to debating folks. But yeah, man, it's a great show, man. Great panel, man. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself for today.
Yo, Alex.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for commenting. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel at Oh No It's Alex. If you like to talk about wrestling, I also tweet a lot about wrestling. You can follow me on Twitter. If you want to talk about games, fitness, or ADD, ADHD, I'm there for you as well. So please follow me and subscribe. And I love to have conversations, so please comment too.
And Jack, man, I know you've been quiet. Too much Xbox going.
Yeah, man. Xbox
man. So we'll be back to our pony cast.
Okay.
Next show. All right, yo. So do your outro, bro.
First of all, man, shout out to everybody watching. It's nice talking to sensible Xbox dudes and Kids Move too. Make sure y'all check out the Weapon Wheel. What's weaponwheelnetwork.com. That's the Weapon Wheel podcast website, man. Make sure y'all go check that out. Follow me separately on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at Jack Move Johnny, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Jack, man. And J Main.
Oh man, what can I say? What a great show. Thanks definitely everybody for coming out. The chat was definitely lit. Thank y'all for holding it down. I mean, and while y'all here, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for your boy. But anyway, yeah, definitely a dope show. A lot of great conversations going on, and yeah, we out.
Yo, Smoothie there.
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yeah, man. Yo, thanks for hopping in. I know you came here guns blazing, ready for action, but we had a pretty civilized conversation today. Want to do your outro?
Of course. You know what it is? Xbox is the best box, and confirmed today is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night.
Yo, you're gonna need a new outro, man, to like.
As soon as I find out that official name,
the power of Scorpio. You know, you're gonna need something new, bro. All right, yo, Joey, man.
But I want it.
Joey Luciano, everybody. I'd like to thank Kofi for extending me this opportunity. And just real quick, all of y'all in the comment section or whoever watches this, you see what happens when civilized people get together and with a good discourse and talk about these games. Like, yo, it's possible. Like, there's PC dudes, Xbox dudes, neutrals in here. It can't happen, yo. It's about the game, man.
Hey, yo, Joey's gonna make you an offer that you can't fucking refuse.
I'm a better man. I'm a better man today than I was yesterday.
Yeah, he does sound like he's about to sell you something still. Yeah, I can't even lie, bro. Yo, Maka, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. I did hit you up like months ago, but you actually had the time to come through. I really do appreciate it. My fellow Canadian brother. Say outro, bro. I'm talking a whole bunch of shit, bro.
Yo, thanks for having me. You know, it's awesome that in this day and age, you can have people with different opinions and they can still be friends, right? We're all good. We're all happy.
Oh my God.
But that doesn't
mean I hate you.
We're not in a circle jerk here. All just agreeing that one thing is right, one thing's wrong. So it's cool.
Yeah, I feel that too. I do. That's why I strive with this podcast. People like I want people with different views and opinions, so we all can like collide and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, great show. Yo, go ahead. My bad.
Quick apology about revolutionizing the gaming world, about possibly having a reprogrammable share button. I know. I'm thinking fucking reinventing the gaming industry. If you want to check me out, though, youtube.com/Maca91 Productions. I make gaming guides.
Yeah. And guys, man, yo, press start. I've been hearing a lot of y'all suggestions. Y'all want us to go weekly, man. So, yo, when I re-upload this podcast on my channel, leave a comment if you want Press Start to be a weekly podcast. Yeah, Jack movie, you have to hit double time shift. You know what I'm saying?
When you make it a Patreon, bro?
Jack is a celebrity. You can't be having Jack for free.
I know Jack. You know, he can appear bi-weekly, but yeah, when it comes on a weekly basis, he's expecting a little bit of cash flow. But we'll cross that bridge one day when we cross. As for now, this is free entertainment. You already know what it is. So Press Start Podcast episode 20. I hope y'all enjoyed, and this podcast will be re-uploaded on my channel. So stop by, give me a thumbs up there too, because it's gonna be deleted from here later. So I really, really, really appreciate it. So we out.
Peace.
Peace.